Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. I wanted to just jump on real quick and do a little lunchtime shout out. Shout out to everybody who's jumped into the best live chat on the internet. And I wanted to, you didn't see a thumbnail, you didn't see a title, so you don't really fully know what we're going to talk about. I want to talk about Turning Point's closeout event that happened at UC Berkeley last night. It was a dumpster fire, not regarding Turning Point, but regarding the people outside protesting. So we're gonna watch a video clip of it, and I have a longer clip as well from the Bay Area Police, I believe it is, that kind of went over what was going on, like from the helicopter. And it was a wild night. And I just want to, hey, let's just talk about the tolerant left. Let's give the tolerant left a hat tip to them being so tolerant and so understanding in light of civil discord and being able to communicate and share ideas with people you disagree with without being just completely just wackadoodle. So, hat tip to the children down there. Let's go.
A night of protests turns bloody at the final stop of the controversial college tour. Several protesters taken into custody outside the Turning Point USA event at UC Berkeley. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Ashley. The conservative group's nationwide tour ended tonight here in the Bay Area, and that stop comes exactly 2 months ago to the day when founder Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at the first event of the tour in Utah. For this breaking news update, let's go to ABC 7 News reporter Frances Wang. She's live on the Cal campus where the event just wrapped up not long ago. Frances, you saw a lot of protesters and a lot of security, too.
Yeah, Dan, organizers expected these protesters, many of them showing up hours before doors even opened. There were some tense, even violent moments you can imagine with protesters and attendees just standing within inches of each other. At one point, police even had to move the line.
Gotta move the line.
Where were you 2 months ago today when you heard Charlie had been shot?
The Turning Point USA tour ended here at UC Berkeley with hundreds packed into Zellerbach Hall. Outside, students and other demonstrators chanted and...
Okay, I just want you to see just some of the people that are there protesting this event. And keep in mind, this is not Turning Point. This is not the conservative, the fascist conservatives or the fascist, whatever you want to call them. That's not them that are out there doing that. They're in there listening to Frank Turek and the such of that nature. So, check this out.
Protested throughout the night.
They're using our facilities and resources to do it, which I think is just crazy. It's go somewhere, we don't want you here.
Events like this should never happen on this campus or anywhere again.
As people
Okay, events like this should never happen on this campus again. Don't these students pay money too? Why is it only people that hold your, and this is where I think we have to, this is where the line is drawn. We have to encourage being civil, absolutely. Civil discourse, we got to be able to talk it out and understand, but to say that, hey, you can't come on campus and be a part of campus life is crazy work if I'm paying my tuition to be there. No, you're going to have to kick those rocks all the way from here to Pluto. So it's just weird. It's just weird that we keep giving attention to these children, petulant children, pitching a fit on the cereal aisle when truly they're not able to handle this conversation. They're just not. And it is wild, but watch this.
here for the Turning Point USA event gathered here in line. They have just been let in, but as you can see, the protesters are upset, yelling at police who are standing there ready with riot gear. Tensions escalated. Fights, fireworks, smoke bombs erupted, creating chaos and confusion. At least one person was hurt, multiple arrested. Attendees and supporters of Turning Point's founder Charlie Kirk not deterred.
When you see someone that courageous with their faith, you're like, why am I not that courageous with my faith? I want to be that courageous with my faith. I should be not afraid to wear a shirt that says Jesus on it, even though everyone looked at me today and gave me dirty looks. It's like, that's okay.
I want to encourage free ideas expression. I don't want one side to dominate the other.
And I think there's valid points on both sides.
Speakers, including actor Rob Schneider, questioning free speech here on campus.
Wait, hold on. I didn't get this far into the video. Rob Schneider? Wow. Okay. I mean, he's pretty popular actor. I don't think he's done a lot recently. But man, shout out to him. I mean, again, like that's pretty wild that he's calling him out like that. Okay, shout out to Rob Schneider in the building.
And addressing the protesters outside.
You're coming from a place of emotion. And that's tough.
Even without Kirk, the night and Turning Point USA tour concluded with his signature Prove Me Wrong format. Attendees given time to line up and ask questions or share their points of view. And Dan, there were some ticketing issues which many of the speakers blamed on the university. As for the protesters, they remained outside throughout the entire event. They remained until the attendees were let out, chanting and yelling at the people here at Turning Point USA tonight. Police essentially had to escort many of those attendees out and off campus tonight.
All right, so I just thought this was interesting because the left always wants to make it sound like we, those persons on the right, the conservatives, the Republicans, whatever term you want to use, are the ones that are violent. But nobody's doing that. I mean, literally, we watched Charlie Kirk be assassinated in 4K, and there was no cities that were burned down. There were no riots that were held. None whatsoever. None at all. I mean, not even a little bit. But we see here, you can't even have civil discourse without these people completely losing their minds, completely coming unglued over something as simple as saying, hey, we're going to have a conference, we're going to have a workshop, we're going to have a rally, if you will, encouraging free speech. I mean, the fact that they let people come up, and I still think that's very interesting, that they let people come up and get the microphone and give their hearty approval or their disapproval, ask questions or give a statement, which is crazy work. You don't see that on the other side. You don't see it on the tolerant left. You don't see them doing that, but they will be quick to call us all kinds of pejoratives. Just fill in the blank. They're going to call us some kind of pejorative, but they themselves are the ones that are doing this action. If you want, I wanted to kind of look at some of the footage from outside of the event. And I'll just kind of pull it in and we'll just kind of watch it. And I'll still add my color commentary. So the local news, what is this? I forgot the KTVU Fox 2 in San Francisco. They basically just recorded and uploaded their footage from the protest yesterday. And it's kind of wild, man. Just all this that was going on. Let me move it, speed it up just a little taste. Kind of get through, cannot. It will not allow me to speed it up. Well, we can see just kind of, okay, here we go. So there's no audio though. It's just the helicopter sounds. But I do think it's very interesting, dare I say adorable, that this is the tolerant left. They are the ones that they're on the quote unquote right side of history. They're the ones that are pursuing justice and so forth, but they won't allow people to have a dissenting voice, people to have a viewpoint that they don't agree with in lockstep. And even though the vast majority of that group right there, I bet you none of them agree with themselves on everything, but that's them. I mean, which is just completely bonkers. And I mean, I want Turning Point to continue to do these type of things. Yeah, I mean, my alma mater, and won't even allow them to even come on. I mean, which is crazy work, which is absolutely insane. And I think it doesn't make you a better person that you don't listen to other people's arguments. It doesn't make you more righteous that you're not willing to listen to other persons that you disagree with. I can disagree with you and still yet be able to have a conversation with you and let you just go ahead and have me and you disagree. Okay, fine. That's just it. So just real quick, the Turning Point USA finished their college tour last night, and it was just a wild dumpster fire at UC Berkeley. And so there was a lot of protests, people getting arrested, the shenanigans. I just wanted to point out just real quickly how much projection takes place when the other side is saying, oh, it's the right-leaning or the right side, they're violent. The right side, they're fascist, and this, that, and other. Who's doing this stuff? Who's doing it? We watched Charlie Kirk get killed in 4K and no cities got burned down. Not a one. Not one police officer got injured. No buildings were ransacked. No looting took place. No mostly peaceful protests. None of that stuff. Not a bit. You look at those No Kings protests. You look at those ICE raid protests. What do you see? That's what I'm talking about. But I just thought it was interesting. So I wanted to bring this in and just point out what is going on and just give y'all, just in case you didn't know, because I didn't know that this had, Turning Point's tour cycle had just ended. I didn't know that. And so I ran across this today. I'm like, man, how crazy is this to look and to watch these people protest about something that isn't bothering them? Like, you literally just, people pay to go to it, or they get a ticket to go to it. You don't have to go to it. I mean, it's really that simple. It is really that simple. I am not a big fan of Monster Jam. You know, they have that every now and then, the big monster truck rallies and stuff like that. They have those here in Atlanta. And you know what? I'm not a fan of them. So you know what I do? I do not go to the Monster Jam. That's just it. It really is that simple. I know people that like Monster Jam, and I'm not putting Monster Jam on par with Turning Point. I know people who like that type of stuff. It's not appealing to me. Like, whatever. I just don't go. I don't go protest. I don't blackball the people. I just say, well, whatever. Go ahead and do your thing. That's not my jam. Why do you have to protest to show how noble you are? Because I keep bringing this up. Where is the liberal version of Turning Point, where you could have peaceful people come and be peaceful? And I think it's funny because I think we all know it can't happen because these people are unhinged. I'm going to play this clip again because I want you to see something. We didn't talk about it, so let me pull it back in.
A night of protests turns bloody at the final stop of the controversial college tour. Several protesters taken into custody outside the Turning Point USA event at UC Berkeley. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Ashley. The conservative group's nationwide tour ended tonight here in the Bay Area, and that stop comes exactly 2 months ago to the day when founder Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at the first event of the tour in Utah. For this breaking news update, let's go to ABC 7 News reporter Frances Wang. She's live on the Cal campus where the event just wrapped up not long ago. Frances, you saw a lot of protesters and a lot of security, too.
Yeah, Dan, organizers expected these protesters, many of them showing up hours before doors even opened. There were some tense, even violent moments you can imagine with protesters and attendees just standing within inches of each other. At one point, police even had to move the line.
Where were you 2 months ago today when you heard Charlie had been shot?
The Turning Point USA tour ended here at UC Berkeley with hundreds packed.
Okay, I want you to look at this picture here. Look at the picture. They look pretty normal people, lots of baseball caps. Okay, lots of just normal folk, right? Let's go look at the protesters. We might pull up a couple others now that I think about it.
Into Zellerbach Hall. Outside, students and other
Do y'all see the person dressed like a furry or whatever this perversion is? Do y'all see this person right in the middle of the screen dressed like a giant? I'm putting the challenge out to the left for the left to go ahead and do their own version of Prove Me Wrong conference. That's what I want them to do. I want them to do this for my own comedic sake. Like, I need this. The world needs this level of comedy for the left to try to do their own version of it and watch themselves eat themselves because they're not civil people. They're not civil. They're not civil. You're not gonna beat those charges. You're not civil individuals. Let's finish this up just in case you just jumped in. The Turning Point college tour just ended last night. There's a lot of protests at UC Berkeley. I just wanted to kind of highlight it. So let's go.
Demonstrators chanted and protested throughout the night.
They're using our facilities and resources to do it, which I think is just crazy. It's like, go somewhere, we don't want you here.
Events like this should never happen on this campus or anywhere again.
As people here for the Turning Point USA event gathered here in line, they have just been let in, but as you can see, the protesters are upset, yelling at police who are standing there ready with riot gear. Tensions escalated. Fights, fireworks, smoke bombs erupted, creating chaos and confusion. At least one person was hurt, multiple arrested. Attendees and supporters of Turning Point's founder Charlie Kirk not deterred.
When you see someone that courageous with their faith, you're like, why am I not that courageous with my faith? I want to be that courageous with my faith. I should be not afraid to wear a shirt that says Jesus on it, even though everyone looked at me today and gave me dirty looks. It's like, that's okay.
I want to encourage free ideas expression. I don't want one side to dominate the other. And I think there's valid points on both sides.
Speakers, including actor Rob Schneider, questioning free speech here on campus and addressing the protesters outside.
You're coming from a place of emotion, and that's tough.
Even without Kirk, the night and Turning Point USA tour concluded with his signature Prove Me Wrong format. Attendees given time to line up and ask questions or share their points of view. And Dan, there were some ticketing issues which many of the speakers blamed on the university. As for the protesters, they remained outside throughout the entire event. They remained until the attendees were let out, chanting and yelling at the people here at Turning Point USA tonight. Police essentially had to escort many of those attendees out and off campus tonight.
All right. So I just think it's adorable, man. The tolerant left, man. They are so tolerant and their ideas are so well thought out that they're able to have civil discussions about how they disagree with somebody, which is crazy work to me. I realize that there's two more news clips, one from Fox and one from the New York Post. I'm going to pull those in. I had not intended to, but I realized they have some other angles as well. So I just want to give you this, and I'm not going to be long. I'm going to let you, I know you got to get back to lunch, so back from lunch. So we're going to just do this real quick. Let's go. Well, first of all, Jason, how about you do this? There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
We are seeing the KTVU Fox 2 is above that active protest scene. Let's watch a little bit of their coverage.
USA's event on campus tonight at Zellerbach Hall. That is the group Turning Point USA, founded by the late conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Some Cal students say they are disappointed with the school for allowing the event to happen. So far, at least 2 people have been detained, and that event starts in about an hour as you take a look at that large group outside of that event. We have seen that crowd continuing to grow as the afternoon has gone on. We want to show you some video from within the last hour. We've highlighted for you as some fights broke out in this crowd. Again, we know 2 people have been detained as emotions are high and tensions are high, as we saw some of those protesters clashing with people waiting in line to get inside. We know the university has added enhanced security measures. They've called in a lot of police from Berkeley as well as UC Berkeley, and Turning Point USA has also hired some of their own independent security to be on campus. There are strict policies to actually get inside of Zellerbach Hall, but we know certainly tensions are high outside of Zellerbach Hall right now. We want to show you some more video here of some of that law enforcement presence as they took at least one person, they detained at least 2 people so far, but video of one of them being detained and put in the back of a police car. Again, we know Berkeley police are on hand, private security, as well as UC Berkeley's own campus police. This is a situation that we are continuing to monitor tonight, and we will bring you any updates as these things develop tonight ahead of this event set to start in the next hour.
And I'm hearing from our producers here that today does mark 2 months since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We don't have our raw helicopter feed of that situation anymore, but this is how Fox News was classifying this. They say a bloody brawl broke out near the Turning Point USA event at Berkeley in California as agitators staged a protest. 2 men spotted fighting as a mob formed around and then police were called in. Several arrests ending up being made. We'll let you know if KTVU or Fox brings us any more pertinent updates as the evening progresses.
All right. So I just thought this was interesting, man. And I didn't realize, I forgot about those those ad windows that pop up at the end. So I apologize about that. I'll do my best to make sure that these links are in the description so y'all can check it out. There is another New York Post, and it's actually from Boots on the Ground. So it's like a montage of people who are actually there at the event doing their own citizen journaling. So I want to just bring this one in just so we can get another view, and I'm going to get y'all out of here. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. I appreciate it. Looks like 150 of y'all. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for popping in with me. And I just think this is very interesting. I think it tells a lot about the argumentation when we get to this point. Somebody say, once you start cursing, you've lost the argument. Well, I think at this point, these people well past cursing. They've definitely lost the argument. So let's bring it in and let's see. Bloody brawl breaks out as agitators protest TPUSA event in Berkeley, UC Berkeley. Please forgive me. Let's go.
To the Charlie Kirk event, and there's literally so many unhinged people here already. Like, look at this. Look. This is the liberal view.
Right. Go behind us.
Look at this.
What the? Literally, this is the stuff conservatives have to deal with because you have unhinged liberals. This is the we're dealing with. Genuinely insane. What is wrong with people? This is genuinely insane.
Ain't no way you can get me that.
Now let's go.
Okay, is the irony of them saying fascists out of Berkeley, that irony is not lost on me. I know that irony is not lost on the best live chat on the internet, nor the best comment section, the most electrifying comment section on the interweb. That comedy is not going to get by me. I'm not going to let that irony get away. That is crazy work.
Fascists out of Berkeley! 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 Fascists out of Berkeley!
Okay, so that's the fight. We saw the fight earlier. Look, I know this is going to sound hypocritical, but I feel some kind of way about all these people wanting to record it and like are in the way in order to record. And that's just wild work to me. He was throwing hands. Usually, if you throw hands, both of y'all going to get arrested most of the time, not or detained. Just because they have you with their handcuffs on you, they might not have arrested you yet. You might be just being detained. I'll be honest with you. Until they sort out, they know that these were the two combatants. They know the guy in the red shirt and the guy with the black shirt were combatants, and they might just arrest them, or I'm sorry, detain them both, figure out what happened, and then maybe one of them will get arrested. Both of them will get arrested. Maybe they both get released on their own recognizance. So it's not really, just because you have cuffs on does not mean that you're arrested yet. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so that was the end of it. Shout out to Wall Street. Oh, I'm sorry, the New York Post. Oh, anybody go see Badlands? That looks like a pretty serious movie. Anyway, shout out to the New York Post. I don't know what all happened. It looks like both of the gentlemen that were fighting were detained. And of course, something's going to probably, I'm sure after they look at film, if they look at video, they might decide both of them go to jail or whatnot. So like that. So there's a little bit of investigation that takes place. I think this is all I had. Dog, there's another one that just came up. Dang. Like literally another one just popped up. Oh, this one's actually a little bit better because it's a little bit more what's inside. All right, real quick. Y'all want to watch the other one? In the chat, let me know. No, it's not Charlie's team out there acting up. No, absolutely not. There is another one I just found, literally just popped up as I was closing out. And it's a little bit more of what's inside and interviewing. It looks like people that were inside the actual event. If y'all want to check it out, it's from Fox and Friends. Y'all want to check it out? Let me know. Let's see. The left is violent, period. Lots of paid protesters. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. Somebody asked about why these people are not at work. I've heard rumors that a lot of these protests are not organic. A lot of these protests are, ginned up, if you will. So I'm not really surprised that if you told me these people were paid, I wouldn't be surprised one iota, not one bit. All right, real quick. Y'all, thank y'all so much. It looks like 125 of y'all are in here right now. Thank y'all so much for hitting the like button. Just wanted to do a quick lunchtime shout out and ran across this. I said instead of doing a video on it, I'd talk with y'all about it. So let me pull in this video. This will be the last one because I do have to be productive the rest of the day. So we'll be coming back at 5 o'clock anyway. So real quick, Fox and Friends, let's go. Green hearts in the chat when y'all can hear.
Those goons outside. They are bad faith actors. They do not care about discourse. They could have come in and they could have asked me some questions, but they didn't because they don't want discourse.
Charlie knew that in order to love people, you have to make yourself somewhat vulnerable. When that shot rang out and we got him in the car, his eyes were fixed. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking right past me into eternity.
Turning Point USA vowing not to be silent as violent protesters rage at the notoriously liberal UC Berkeley campus last night during the last stop of its campus tour 2 months after Charlie's murder. Our next guest had been working with Charlie to headline an event on campus before he was killed. John Paul Leon is president of the UC Berkeley Turning Point USA chapter, and he joins us now. John Paul, thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. We're going to talk about your campus in just a second. But first, what were your takeaways of last night? It was a packed house.
Yes, that's right. We had a lot of people show up to the event despite all of the struggles. People are showing the world that they're not afraid to face off against protesters who are doing whatever they can to disrupt the event. And they're passionate and energetic and are coming out. And of course, the capacity of the venue was somewhere upwards of 2,000. And we nearly reached that. And the only reason why we didn't reach that was a result of certain issues we had with the university and with the ticketing process, which I could definitely get into later.
Okay, John Paul, talk about your campus and the chapter and how it's grown since the assassination.
Yes, so for reference, the largest meeting size we ever had before the assassination of Charlie Kirk was 30 members. And that was a pretty unprecedented size for a meeting. That was a pretty large size. And then going into this next semester, when we were supposed to announce Charlie Kirk coming to campus, which was the day he was assassinated, we had a vigil. And at that vigil, we had about over 100 people show up. And then since then, our smallest meeting turnout has been around 60 people.
Okay, and John Paul, you were telling me during the commercial break, it's so much fun to be a conservative. How did you decide to go to such a progressive school as a conservative? And then what made you want to speak out and be the president of this chapter?
So I originally entered in UC Berkeley planning not to be political at all. I was very much a shy conservative, as you might say, and I was planning on keeping my politics to myself. But essentially, as I got more and more in depth, as I started studying more, as I started caring more and more about my values, I realized that Berkeley is a place where I shouldn't be hiding it. And it is quite the journey to face off against the radical left as they come in and they try to throw out words like fascist at us, which you just see all day, and you very much get desensitized to it. But I'm very much willing to engage intellectually with my ideas and to do whatever it takes to help support our beautiful movement.
And there's some video of you walking on stage last night, and y'all had the chair there with the Freedom T-shirt where Charlie would sit. You were friends with Charlie. Y'all had talked about this tour, and this was going to be the last stop on the tour. Charlie was supposed to be there, and he wasn't there, obviously. What was your relationship like with him, and how did he influence your life? Because it sounds like you are fine with debating people who disagree with you on your campus.
Yes, that's correct. So I had the opportunity to meet Charlie Kirk a number of times. I had a breakfast with him at Student Action Summit this past summer in Tampa, Florida. And of course, we talked about a wide variety of topics. Throughout that, Charlie Kirk, he was a man who would ask the right questions. He would listen to you, curiously minded, and he would push back where he needed to, pull back when he needed to. And it was just such an overwhelming presence to sit next to him and to be talking with a man who I very deeply admired. And there's very few people on the planet where you can sit next to them and think, wow, this is X person. And Charlie Kirk had that. When you're sitting next to him, you're like, wow, I'm sitting next to Charlie Kirk. And he's open-minded. He's very intellectually rigorous, and he's doing whatever he can to learn as much as he can.
Yeah, he definitely had that X factor. Let's discuss the protests. They were outside, and security was very tight. Y'all couldn't take in bags. You couldn't take in water bottles. You had to be searched and checked, which was great. But the protests were right outside. Were you nervous that they were going to come in?
I was not nervous just because of how good of a job that law enforcement and security did. I was definitely hearing word about what was going on with the protest. I was hearing how it was getting violent, and that was definitely a growing concern. But we had very safe and secure plans that we were able to fully manifest out that night. And it was fantastic. Everyone, once again, with security and law enforcement, did a fantastic job. So I'm really thankful for them. But other than that, yes, the protesters, they did get violent. And there were many videos that you can see of brawls shaping out. And it's such an incredible thing to think about that the man, Charlie Kirk, was shot, wonderful father and husband. And the reaction we get from the left is to come out to an event that's set up by a few students and just start getting violent, start agitating, and start trying to scare people. I know there were some flares that went off as well. And there was definitely some scary moments, but we were definitely safe at the venue.
Well, John Paul, thank you so much for waking up early this morning in California. We appreciate it. 2,000 people went to that event last night. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I mean,
you know what? And shout out to that young guy, man. He held it down. I thought that was a good interview. I'm glad I ran across that. Now, somebody mentioned, by the way, that Officer Brandon Tatum was assaulted, attacked at UC Berkeley. It wasn't UC Berkeley. It was UC Davis. I just looked it up. It was UC Davis, but it was a California school for sure. And yeah, this is a wild time. And I just thought it would be good for us to look at it and just see again. I don't think we should cower back from holding your position and your views. I don't think you should hold your head down or slump your shoulders over. I think you should be bold and clear on your views and your perspective, where you stand religiously, where you stand philosophically, politically. You should be able to just argue your case out and discuss it in a very clear way so that people will understand. Now, maybe they'll still understand and they disagree with you. That's fine. They may understand and actually change their viewpoint. That's fine too. But as long as you're doing the best that you can to share your ideas and to make them clear, that's the best we can do. I mean, that's it. And whether or not somebody attacks you, whether or not somebody's, wilding out like this, it is just going to be what it is. They're all the way around it. So we're just going to do our very best, y'all. I'm going to be back, Lord willing, this afternoon. We're going to be looking at another one of Candace's shenanigans. We got our book discussion tonight at 7:00. I forgot that we did not play bingo last night. I have no idea what happened. I had the bingo board set up and I just totally forgot about it. So I'll make sure we have bingo ready for y'all tonight. I'll add it to the description of the video for today's live stream. And I'm assuming it's going to be about 5:00-ish. So I'll make sure we're ready for that. Thank y'all again, every last one of you. It really does show a lot. It does mean a lot, rather, to me that you all tap in. So thank you so much for that. Not begging you or anything like that, but I wouldn't mind if you hit that like button if I earned it. If I didn't, just make sure you tip your waiter on the way out the door. Hit those green hearts on the way out, and I will see you all this afternoon. Grace and peace. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.